Marks travelled to the city of Birmingham. Victorian mourning jewellery is something we regularly come across on the road trip, so Mark is going to find out why death was such a lavish affair in the 19th century. Newman Brothers were one of the many companies cashing in on the pomp and ceremony of a grand Victorian send-off. Now a time capsule museum, Mark is meeting with collections manager of the Coffin Works, Sarah Hayes. First stop is the stamp room. This part of the building closely resembles its Victorian past.
You can smell the history.
Wow, this is amazing. Now, the stamp room, I presume it was doing the little bits on the coffin, the nameplates and things, is that right?
Exactly. So the breastplates, the ornaments, anything decorative that was metal was made in here, that then went on the outside of the coffin.
But I mean, looking around here, this would have all been expensive, wouldn't it?
Very expensive. So you're looking at, they were suppliers, Newman Brothers, to the top end of the market,
Right.
middle class, upper class funerals. They eventually started to branch out and produce tin plate, lower end products to your sort of more working class
Yes.
people. But yeah, you get everything here.
Certainly do. Cornelius, the resident drop stamper, is going to operate the mighty 19th century drop forge.
It's a tribute to the early Victorian engineers. Each of these hammers has done well over 1 million blows each, and they would do it again easily.
Oh, God. And people were working in this.
Yeah, 12 hours a day, as Cornelius said, 7 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the evening. But they just got on with it. There you go.
Thank you, Cornelius. And there it is, R.I.P.
Very appropriate. The Victorian funeral was an expensive thing.
It was part of the ritual of society, wasn't it?
The middle and upper classes, it was for them to show, look at my wealth. I was
Yes.
important in life, I'm also important in death. But for your lower class people, your working class people, it was the fear of being erased from society and having a pauper's funeral that drove them forward.
Actually, quite a few people must have got into quite severe debt doing all this.
Yeah, and that's why the burial clubs came about, because you'd put a penny in a week, you'd pay for your family and you'd go into debt for it almost. So you had a good funeral at the end of it, but you might leave your family without any money. So it made no sense, but it was this obsession with a good death.
In some of the upper class funerals, I mean, there was quite a lot of pomp, wasn't there? Lots of mourners and things.
Oh, yes.
What did they get up to, do you know?
Well, if you were a solicitor, you'd have 4 horses pulling the cortege, the funeral hearse. You'd have feathers atop the bridles on the horses. You'd have mourners or mutes behind. So people paid to grieve on your behalf.
One floor up, and the warehouse used to be full of workers, boxing all the finished products.
Wow, and they're all full, unwrapped.
Awful, yeah, and unwrapped. On here, my favourite piece, which really demonstrates almost the demise of the Victorian funeral and changing attitudes, is that this is a Victorian breastplate. It's big. You can see it's big. They're like the bling. Your name would go on here, who you were, when you died. The most important part, actually, on the coffin goes on the top.
Yes.
But look, today, this is a nameplate. It does the same thing.
Yeah.
But we fear death today, so much so that it's small and we don't want to embrace it as the Victorians did. In the Victorian period, there was a uniform for the living when they were in mourning as well.
Yes, there was.
So we know Queen Victoria.
We do. I mean,
Was-
she started all that, didn't she, with the death of Prince Albert in
She did, and she
1861.
never came out of mourning, did she?
No, she didn't. She liked her black and white. I think actually a lot of people after a while got a bit fed up of it and started adding colours to the black.
At over 100 years old, the Newman Brothers factory illustrates Victorian Britain's macabre obsession with death, and that providing a funeral of the utmost extravagance was the ultimate wish of both the rich and the poor.